Don't want to say it's Mickey, but Canada Natures should have won first game.
A point bug or something happened. The original leaderboard, they weren't qualifying, and then there was a switch, and he got pushed up, and he got the last slot to Grands.
No way.
So it took them a minute after that. They would have been one and done. They ended up having to play another 15
and they
games.
wanted to be done. Like, I was watching them. They just wanted to get it over with, you know? We're multi-millionaires. Might as well just con everyone we see. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the weekly Fortcast. My name is BenK.
And I'm Pfluger.
And it's not an off week anymore, man. FNCS is back in full swing, and literally tomorrow, Grands are kicking off.
Yes, sir. Oh my gosh. This is probably the most anticipated Grands I've been waiting for in a very long time.
Dude, so many people keep calling it like a Mickey Mouse Grands for the format and things like that, but honestly, it's like a viewer perspective, it's been great.
It's been good. It's been really good. I mean, honestly, there are a few teams that are, like, I'm surprised that have not qualified. Yeah. But, for the most part, most of them have. So
I think it lines up pretty well. But we'll have to see how it plays out throughout the weekend. But for everyone at home, this episode for you, if you're watching, is going to kind of play as like a pre-show to your Grands watching throughout the rest of the weekend. So fill in about some of the dramas going on during the qualifiers and some speculations onto some of our top fives. And then we'll break down the drop maps as well, highlight some key off-spawn fights on both regions, EU and NA, to kind of see what's going on this weekend and what there is to expect. But off the rip, let's kind of talk about what these players actually had to do to qualify. Of course, 3 rounds of upper and lower bracket. So 6 different sessions. That's a lot of Fortnite.
That's a lot of Fortnite. In 3 days, right? It's 3 days time? Yeah, that's a lot of Fortnite.
It's a lot. And,
that's like 6 hours, you say.
Yeah, and for a lot of these players, they're playing two sessions a day.
Yeah.
They have to play in upper and lower each day.
Just depending on how they do, yeah.
Yeah, depending on how they do. But yeah, it started off on the weekend. The way you actually qualify through upper and lower bracket is you either win a game in round 1 or round 2 of the upper bracket, which there's only 5 games. So 10 duos from round 1 and round 2 of upper qualified through by winning a match. So kind of like that reboot round kind of a style thing, which a lot of controversy around awarding qualifications just off of a win alone. But then again, the lineups looks pretty good to me. But that's just one way to qualify. You can also qualify in round 3 of the upper bracket by placing top 25. Or if you weren't able to get it done in round 3 of upper bracket, you could drop down to the lower bracket, the last chance qualifier, you could call it, where you have to place top 15 in the lower round 3 to qual, which was only 3 games.
So the last day you get 40 chances to qualify if you made upper bracket.
Yeah.
So that's a lot, man.
It's definitely kind of hard to follow, but I like it. I like awarding the win potential because a lot of the teams where you do have so many duos in one session overall, it's interesting to see like just awarding wins per it. And if you look through the list of teams that actually qualified by winning games, it's the teams that should be winning games.
I mean, there's a few that are like struggling. Like you don't really see them on the leaderboards and stuff. Like a few, like I want to say Mickey Mouse, you know, but just like some surprises, you know?
Yeah. Overall, I think we'll start with NA, of course, just to start to break things down. Both formats the same on EU and NA. But NA was awesome to watch through and through. A lot of good action, not as much drama as on EU is what I think, just because the EU region overall just had so many more eyes than NA for the qualifiers this season. But to start off, literally first game, round 1 of upper bracket, Cooper and Miro, our Glover champs, qualify. The first team to punch their ticket to grand finals. There's no surprise there, and I know you have your gripes about how they're going to do in finals. But
I mean, I do want to bring up that how they won first game. I think Canada Natures were on a high ground that game, and they got a glitch where they couldn't pop a med kit. Like they got a no ammo glitch where he had 3 med kits left and just could not pop the med kit. So Cooper Miro won off of that. Don't want to say it's Mickey, but Canada Natures should have won first game.
And what sucks is Canada Natures then had to go on to play. I think they qualified in the last round of upper bracket.
Yeah.
So it took them a minute after that. They would have been one and done. They ended up having to play another 15
and they
games.
wanted to be done. Like I was watching them. They just wanted to get it over with, you know?
Yeah. I mean, of course, Canada now being
21X.
Is he the only one or is King the other?
Only one.
Canada being the only player to be in every single grand finals in FNCS history.
Yep.
And for anyone at home,
that's a statement and a half, though.
Yeah, and there are players who have reached every grand finals and online, like you want to call Epic Whale. He's been able to make it to every single online grand finals, but including lands. We're talking about
invitational.
We're talking about global championships. Epic Whale was the only other person on NA that had that title up until global champs. Now being stripped away because he didn't get to play in the finals at global championship.
I mean, that's crazy. Did Canada qualify for World Cup, by the way?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a disgusting resume.
Everything.
Oh my gosh.
Did Kanata qualify?
I think he did.
Must
no, he
have.
definitely did. He definitely did
because if he's made every single FNCS Grand Finals, he had to have been already established in World Cup era.
Yeah.
Because right out of World Cup, there was Season X
Yep.
FNCS. But yeah, dude, Kanata's still up there at the top of the mantle, them making into it, and they're in my top 5.
Yep.
I think they're gonna be able to do well, and we'll list them off towards the end of our speculations. But moving through, man, I remember was it game 1 or game 2 of round 2 of upper bracket? It was a big thing on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
If you're at all plugged into the Twitter sphere of Fortnite, or at least an NA competitive, you definitely would have saw this clip of Day and Redux going head to head in a 2v2 situation against Aviv and Booga for a win in upper bracket, which would have qualified whichever team won. Aviv and Booga able to pull out the win, dude, but on the back of a throw from Redux.
Yeah, Redux should have won that fight, but I think he hit for like 32 or something like that, so it was rough.
It's not even that. Redux had 3 medkits in inventory and chose to go take the fight rather than running back in to go pop the medkits.
Yeah, that was not the play. I mean, I think Booga had 1 medkit, right, or something like that.
It still wouldn't have been close.
Yeah, I mean, Redux should have won that.
Redux had to run over, and you can always question, like, in the moment, is the play to fight there? Did they have enough mats to box up?
I think they qualified. I think Day and them ended up qualifying through the lower bracket even. So it was like...
It took them a minute.
Yeah, it took them a long time. Like, came down to the last minute, you know? Ooh.
They would have been done right out of round 2.
Yeah, like, second game.
That's gotta sting so much to be so close. And you can see this clip. I mean, I think we can play it. There's not too much profanity in there. Maybe not too much. I'm not sure from Day. But, dude, Day sounded heartbroken in that clip.
He really did.
Like borderline crying.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a life-changing amount of money, especially for someone like Day, where he's been trying to break back up into that upper echelon of players for years on end now. Missed out on global champs, missed out on invitational. Wants to have that comeback story.
Yeah.
Really does. And I thought seeing Day and Redux come together, Redux being a collegiate player now, breaking into that tier 1 scene with Day. But Redux, man, they've been a really great duo to watch throughout the seasons, and to see them almost pull out the win.
It was, dude, watching that back, it was so rough. They should have won that win. They should have won it.
Both of them making their way into grand finals,
thankfully,
though. So at least no regretful stories, knowing that would be the 1v2 basically throw away your entire grands qual. That's something I don't know if you can recover from.
Yeah, that is rough. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but moving through, man, something interesting I saw, Scented seems to be, and has been for the last couple seasons, kind of just plugged out, just unplugged from competitive.
I don't think he's is he practicing like that anymore?
I don't think so.
I don't think
he doesn't seem to really care at all. As Scented out of lower bracket was just kind of like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's round 3 of lowers. We make it, we don't. And I'm pretty sure they had a point bug or something happened. The original leaderboard, they weren't qualifying, and then there was a switch. And he got pushed up, and he got the last slot to Grands.
No way.
The very last team to qualify, Scented and Tahi.
Wait, who got switched out then? Did someone?
I don't know. I can't remember if it was like a point bug, someone missing points, or someone got banned. But I know that something was wrong.
When someone got banned. I saw it on Twitter. Someone got banned.
Yeah, something happened, and to see Scented just come back up, and he's like, "Well, guess
we'll
we're playing it.
Hey, we'll take it. Why not? I'm down to play low Grands.
It makes me
wait. Imagine he wins this one though.
Well, dude, it makes me so sad because Scented is so good. He's so good when he actually tries, and it's like, why are we not trying, man? I don't get it. I think just after like Clicks getting banned, and then switching up duos, it was just like a big shift up for him, and I think it just kind of crushed his spirit a little bit.
Definitely a little bit, 100%.
I mean, he's doing stuff. He's still on Agent, still grinding out there. He's still in Grands. The entire Agent roster -1 making it into Grand Finals.
Do we talk about it?
Oh, I mean, we have to, right?
I mean, oh my gosh.
Everybody's favorite resident Fortnite professional.
Bucky FPS. Okay, I guess we're hopping into this. So he ended up losing out his qualification spot by like 1 elim.
Yeah.
Or like one or 2 elims, and he lost it to a trade.
Yeah, could have had it. It was a point bug.
Yeah.
Should have been awarded the points for the elimination. Didn't get awarded the points. I don't think either team got awarded the points.
No, the other team did 100%.
Even still, but like a point bug was not awarded the elimination points, did not qualify.
Would have qualified off of it, but
yeah.
I mean, it's rough though, because I think the other qualification, like he was playing lowers, The first one he got 40th, I think. And then the second one he got that bug and didn't qualify, so it was rough.
Dude, I love watching Bucky and Okus play together. I love Okus's attitude and the way that he plays with Bucky that keeps him a lot more reeled back. But I'll be honest with you, I think Okus drops him at the end of the season.
I heard them talk about it over like stream and stuff, and I think they're sticking together just because, you know, they were playing good throughout the season, like going into it. But I mean, man,
I don't want to bash him.
It is rough.
I don't want to bash Bucky because his fans are feral.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love Bucky. He has awesome potential when he has that right mindset.
I mean, hey, I'm not gonna lie. I've been hopping on the stream, hopping off. He's been live before me, live after me. Like, he's doing like 9-10 hour streams now.
I mean, he's grinding, right? Content is up there, numbers are there. My thing is, I just legitimately believe Okus is better, and I think Okus could have a better duo and could do some crazy stuff.
I think Okus could win FNCS.
I think he could
100%.
easily. I think Okus is an FNCS winning level fragger.
Yeah,
110%. He can make the plays. He is a I don't know. He's just nuts. And to see him playing with Bucky for so long now, and they've been just on the cups of like greatness for so long, it's like, dude, but what if Okus plays with Ascended, right?
That would be crazy.
Like, what happens there?
Yeah.
Like, what happens if you see Aviv get swapped out and an Okus come in with Booga, right? Like, what happens there?
I mean, that's just FNCS winners.
Or a Peterbot and an Okus, like.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. That's actually crazy.
I know, right? Like,
that's crazy to think about.
My mind just starts to roll because it's like Okus is such an asset that's been overlooked for so many years now, I feel like. And I don't want to say Bucky's holding him back. I think the potential to do great things in that duo is there. It's just like, how many chances do you give it?
Yeah, I think if anything, they would give it, I guess, one more, if anything. But I mean,
we got 3 majors.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I don't think
3 majors.
I don't think Okus is going to leave it up to chance to throw away that opportunity again.
Right.
He knows he belongs on that stage. Why he wouldn't do whatever he possibly can to make it there, I don't know why he wouldn't. Whether he gives him another season or not, I think that duo still has potential, but it's really sad to see them not there. And the only member of Agent not in the grand finals.
Oh, it's rough, man. It is rough, but you know what? It happened. It is what it is. We go again.
Yeah, so everyone at home, you can expect not to see Bucky, but I'm sure he'll be doing a live stream on Twitch if you guys want to tune in. But I guess the next thing for us, man, is we'll just dive into this drop map a little bit.
I'm down.
Contestations I want to kind of talk about first and foremost.
Are we talking the main one?
I mean, you know what I want to talk about. It's Cooper and Miro, right? Triple contested at Yacht. This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
This drop spot, a lot of times it's encompassed, and we'll show you guys an image of what they're actually claiming on the map. It is going to be the actual yacht itself and the tower located just north, which is just off the cliff side. I've seen Cooper and Miro split this drop with another duo multiple times in Cash Cups and do fine.
Okay.
But my worry is when you add another team into the mix.
Right. How does it play out, you know? I mean, it depends. Is Cooper and Miro landing the yacht?
Yeah, from what I've seen, they've been landing on the yacht itself. And their drop map is nuts.
Which is good. So they definitely will probably win the yacht even if they get conned.
Yeah.
But my question is what is the other 2 teams going to do? Like, are they going to con the yacht? Are they going to double con over there and then Cooper and Miro come and clean up? I mean, it's just a lot of questions.
I feel like you can't fight for the house. I think the yacht is the only possible spot. If you're going to contest, it has to be on the yacht. It's just bigger. It's a lot more ratty. You can find little holes to hide in.
Right, exactly.
But my only thing is there are only so many ground spawns, and Cooper has the lowest input delay I have ever seen in my life. I think homie teased him macroing on his Twitter feed the other day. He goes,
"No, I saw that."
He posts he posts him gliding players gliding in, and he goes, "Guess who gets the gun? Hashtag still serious."
Oh, that's
he's
crazy,
macroing.
Dude. I think he got the gun and he flew again. Like he was like mid-air gliding again. That was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, but Cooper and Miro have the experience there. I definitely don't think they're going to move, though.
No, definitely not.
I think the biggest concern from a lot of people is what Vorteca.
Yeah.
Being the X Factor and the allegations going on.
I mean, there have been so many allegations against him and just other players in general. Just with this new DMA, is that what it is?
I don't want to publicize it too much on the platform, but there's basically a cheating system, which people refer to as DMA, that is quote unquote undetectable.
Yeah.
It's a weird setup. There's like videos floating around of people using it, but certain names in the pools, leaked DMs here and there.
Just too much, man.
Yeah,
Too
but
much.
Verteca being one of those players that's on that list
Yeah.
of allegating that they are cheating and using the same kind of cheats. I don't know. Until Epic takes official action, you can't really
That's
assume
exactly
anything.
how I think about everything. Like if they don't get banned by Epic, then I mean, there's no
Can't-
true proof against
Can't really
them,
call them a cheater at that
Yeah,
point. I mean, you
exactly.
can present all the evidence that you have to Epic Games, fill out a support ticket if you have it. But beyond that, man, if you're a player getting contested by someone like this, you just have to kind of just do your
play
best.
smart, yeah.
Stick to your game plan. Cooper and Mira are global champions. If anybody's up for the challenge, it's going to be them, man. Which is why I still stuck them in my top 5s because I think they still have the potential.
Right.
But yeah, I guess we'll move on to the next one, man. Man, there's so many to look at.
I could bring up one.
yeah,
I could bring up one
what do
real
you-
fast.
what
What
do you-
about Clicks and Epic Well versus Diego Plays and G Money at Lavish Layer? Oh, that's a rough one.
And it leaves a nasty taste in your mouth too,
Yeah.
because you know the motivation behind the contestation is not exactly
Not what you would think it would be.
yeah, not
you know?
exactly for a competitive advantage.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Blatant clips of I'm not sure who exactly, but somebody on the opposing team of Diego Plays, them saying that they're only planning to land on Clicks and Epic Whale for the clout. They said they have 30,000 viewers. What do I have to lose?
I mean, they're just like, there are so many ways you can make it into the Fortnite scene off like streaming, content creation, and stuff like that. But I feel like it's just such a big disadvantage for competitive players being streamers just because of that, like, clout.
Yeah.
So it's rough out here.
And I mean, Clicks has already confirmed it that he's going to be streaming grants,
right.
but he has also confirmed that he'll be streaming on a 3-minute delay.
Okay, good.
So
3-minute delay is good.
it's not the stream sniping aspect that Clicks and Epic will have to worry about. It's the fact that they're contested. Because, I mean, there are multiple medallion drop spots that are contested, but most
Right.
of them have established split drops, right?
Yeah.
Like you have Muzz and Paper, Acorn and Cold over at Fencing. That's a split drop that they've been having the
Yeah, and then
entire
we got,
season.
Sphinx and, who is it? Sphinx and Pump versus Reet and
Ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's over at Reckless.
And
so.
that's an established split drop
Yeah,
for them.
exactly.
They haven't been fighting each other the whole season.
Yeah.
Versus Clicks and Epic Whale have been pretty much uncontested at Lavish, or anytime they have been contested, notoriously by Visuals and company.
Yep.
In cash cups and in the upper bracket and lower bracket finals, we saw Clicks and Epic Whale get contested by Visuals, and they get absolutely slammed off spawn repeatedly. Visuals not qualifying to Grand. So Clicks and Epic Whale coming into Grands at the mindset
Looking
of
good.
like, we are uncontested with
We're
an
multi-millionaires. Might as well just con everyone we see.
Yeah, they're like, great. We're uncontested. We have a medallion. We have best shotgun in the game. We have
Yeah.
snipers. We have all the loot we could possibly need. And then you got Diego Plays coming over here, and they're like, we're going to contest you. It's like, okay. I mean,
Okay, good luck. That's your choice. It's over for you. We're going to get you out,
I mean, Clicks and Epic, well, watching them fight off spawn, right? I don't want to be glazing here, but Clicks and Epic Will are so fast at that POI at fighting off spawn. Like, the way they clean up fights is ridiculous.
And I feel like you have to be at Lavish. There's not really like a way you could split Lavish. So.
No, and it's one of those POIs it feels like a maze when you're in there.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
know every single inch of that place. And
Yep.
unless you've been landing there the whole season, you're just not going to have that.
No, there's no way.
That kind of intuition when you're fighting in these buildings. Clicks and Epic will know every single flank, every window to hop through. It's like, which one do I need to hop out to get behind this team that's fighting in this attic? They know exactly where to go. And it's scary.
It is. It really is.
Because they have the skill and the experience to boot right behind that map knowledge of the drop spot. So, Diego Plays, good luck to you. Who is the duo? Is Diego Plays and G Money? Yeah.
Yep.
So, good luck to you guys. Clicks and Epic will be there. That'll be a fun fight to watch that I am sure will get plenty of airtime.
Oh, 100%. Speaking of which, let's talk about, do you want to talk about spectators?
We can talk about spectators.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of back and forth for majority of the season, spectators have been thought to be the source of lag, the source of so many different things, and to a degree, it's true. Absolutely,
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
degree, the number of spectators or observers are that are in the game spectating it will impact the lag. For anyone if we're wondering, we're not talking about spectating eliminated players. We're talking about the broadcast, i.e.
Doing lives,
Blast.
yeah.
The amount of spectator accounts that they put into the game for the broadcast. So it's like drone shots, how many POVs do they have that they can switch between, that kind of a thing. And usually they run 5 to 8.
Yeah, something like that.
And that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's basically 5 to 8 extra players that they have to bounce packets back and forth from. for everybody's input, everybody's output during the game. So there's basically over 100 different people that are having to receive and send data throughout this match. And the thought was for a while was that if you had more spectators on you specifically, the more lag that duo would be receiving on top of that. Which I don't know how much of that is still true or how much of it we've seen confirm or deny.
Right. But I mean, I think Epic is definitely like looking into it with like changing the way Surge is working now. Like they're lowering or increasing the threshold with Surge. So
yes, which will effectively just drop the player count faster and make players fight, which seems so counterintuitive to me because they have so many lobby issues where the player count's not dropping fast enough, and they obviously have identified that as the source of the problem. My thing is players are not fighting not just because they want to win the game. They're not fighting because there's no reward.
Yeah. I mean, there's like
no siphon.
It's
like there is no reward to fighting players. It's like, why would I, when I am 5th zone, right? Half and half's about to pull away. I have a team next to me, a team above me, a team below me. Why do I, and I got 5-5-5, right? I got lucky with zone pulls.
Why would you fight?
Why would I want to fight any team if I know I'm going to get pumped for 100, I'm going to get hit for 80. Maybe I don't have big pots. I don't want to waste my fizz. I don't want to do whatever.
You just save match. Just play for in game.
Yeah, it's like, why would I fight people? But if you know, hey, I'm going to be able to fight, take 50 damage. If I can quick dead this team, then I'm going to get my siphon back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I see no reason why not to fight them.
Why not? Extra points.
I'm much more likely to peek off a cone and try and smack a wall for a second, hit the little 6 square at it, and try and look for a shot in their back. But if I'm going to get turned on and pumped for 100 and I'm like, oh, well, there goes 2 big pots and half my fizz, like, no, absolutely not.
No, we're good. Not happening.
And it's like, I think they see Siphon as like a way of like, oh, Siphon made more players stay in the game longer because during the end game, people will get clutch eliminations, have more HP, and be along for longer.
Yeah, but that's not really how
it works. I
don't
think so. I think the impact of Siphon in those moments is like 3 to 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Versus like Siphon in like these moments in like 5th, 6th zone where there's 60, 70 people alive. It's like you will get much higher numbers of players getting eliminated.
You know what they could really do now that I'm thinking about it? Like, what if they have Siphon all the way up until like 6th zone, 6th or 7th zone?
I mean, something of that, that, right? Because I see no reason why. It's like, hey, or at least like when Storm Surge ticks on, it's like Siphon becomes active.
That would be sick.
Because then it's like, okay, so now it's like, hey guys,
now it's actually worth it to fight, you know?
Right? Rather than
like,
you sitting
I'm below Surge, I'm 5-5-5, but I need Surge, so might as well just start fighting, you know?
Rather than grappling front side, sitting in a box and spamming bandages to heal through Storm Surge, you're like, okay, I'm gonna just fight a team on back zone for a second and then go front because I know I'm gonna get that 50 shield back.
Right. I mean, that solves it. No,
they seem to be experimenting, at least trying new formats and stuff. I just wish they'd try more things like that. And I don't know. A lot of it, none of it is in the player's control. You can leave input all you want all day long. They don't seem to really care. They're going to do their own thing. They have their data. They have their people on their team that are going to make these decisions.
Yep.
So all we can do is put our ideas out into the ether.
Yeah, that's our idea.
And
Epic, if you're listening, Siphon during Surge, please.
Yep. Would love to see it, or at least try it out.
I'll be sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Another fight I do want to highlight just a little bit. Is going to be over near Snooty, one of the most desirable medallions and mythics that are on the map right now. It's going to be a triple contested POI of some of our favorites from home. Let me go ahead and read some of these out for you. Quanti and Byla, Snacky and Possessed, Blake and Macwood.
Interesting.
Some OG matchups here.
The thing with Snooty is that like you can fight for the like Peter Griffin, you know, the shotgun, like the best shotgun in the game by a mile. But you can still just take the other side and just split the POI.
Yeah, exactly. Which is more often than not what happens. Whoever lands at Peter Griffin building just ends up being there, because if you were the first team to initiate that fight with the team landing on the boss building, you're just gonna be getting third party.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's really no way to go. If it's a double contested, it's a different story. But a triple contested,
I mean, there's so much loot there also. So I could realistically see all of them even living off spawn.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to see. Like, I think a lot of people are looking at it of like, oh, it's just a grief fest.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really going to be fighting as much as people think they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with like the location and the actual setup of Snooty itself, like there's a lot of ways to disengage at this POI.
Oh yeah.
Like go along the beach. There's cliffs all over the place. You can go up and over. You have the train going through.
The thing with Snooty is that it's a very hot very hot spot. So all these teams that are landing around them, like split drops and stuff, they can easily come over and try to look for surge and stuff. So.
Yeah, and the closest of which Vanilla's and Convic, they have a really nice spot. I like their drop over here. It's like that little...
It's like a mansion,
yeah. It's like a little villa.
Yeah,
They got a pool in the back just on the coastline and them being uncontested there as well. Booga and Aviv are not really going to rotate all the way over there.
Yeah.
So they're left with a lot of options there. If they do start fighting, they could come over and look for surge tags. Because now, right, like all of the thought processes of these players a whole season of just like looking for fights for points. Now everyone's going to be fighting for surge.
Oh yeah, surge is a massive issue.
That's going to be the number one thing on top of everyone's mind, and it hasn't been for the entire season, right?
Yeah,
surge never
everybody's going to be focusing on surge until there's like 20 people left.
Yeah,
just whenever it like fully goes away. So
yeah, it's going to be just make it into the zone, get the surge.
Yep.
If you get a kill on the way, great.
Yeah,
but
we'll take that. Hey, we'll take that.
Whatever. Like we're cool.
Yep.
Especially with the way that the format works this season, where it's going to go from day 1 to day 2.
Yeah.
A 1.5x placement multiplier,
which is huge. I don't think it's only placement. I think Elam also.
Does Elam go from 2 to 4 from day 1 to 2?
It goes from 4 to 6.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So it's a big difference. So I think it's 100 points for a win day 2.
Yeah.
And then 6 per Elam. And then the first day it's like 60, 65 for a win, and then 4 per Elam. So it's like a 1.5x. It's crazy.
Yeah, so if you don't have your stuff figured out on day 1, you do have a comeback potential on day 2. But again, that surge,
and it's massive. Speaking of which, it's just like the Gamers 8 format. Just how like day 1 it was like a 1x, and then 2x, 3x. I mean, it's a massive difference. So you got to lock in for day 2. Even if you have a bad day 1, you can still come back day 2. 100% good. Like if you're bottom like 45.
Yeah.
You come back, you can easily get like the top 15.
Yeah, if you come out with a win with 10 eliminations off rip, like that is a lot.
That is a
of
lot of points.
That is a lot of points. That's 160 points.
Yeah.
Just off of that alone, and yeah, that's kind of
That's
crazy.
crazy to think about. Oh my gosh.
I guess some last takeaways. That's obviously going to wrap up our little talk about the actual drop map itself. But some key takeaways from this last Cash Cup. We saw my brain, Acorn and Cold take home the win.
Yep.
No surprise there. These guys have been dominant in Cash Cups the entire season, but we saw Kanata and Agers 3 wins out of the first 4 games.
Right. I didn't really get to watch the Cash Cup, but I looked back at the leaderboard and it was close.
Yeah, so Agers and Kanata, they've been just so confident during the mid game. And I guess averaging, they took height in 9th zone, 10th zone, and 11th zone in their 3 wins. So around the same time. But they will have really crucial refreshes during mid game. Like they're just so consistent in fighting people in mid-ground tarps. Like they're just so proficient in just like finding people wherever they are, chopping them down, spraying them out. If they're taking double pickaxes, pre-edits, all sorts. Like they're using everything in the book to find these refreshes. But they have great discipline where they're not just going to get that massive refresh. Like they might get, like I've seen them get refreshes where they'll get 800 mats each. And they're like, no, we're not going for it yet. They're not going yet. And they're going to wait. They're going to go 2 more zones.
Which is smart. I mean, that's really smart.
They'll have like 800 builds each, and they're like, no, we're gonna wait. And they about every single game they took height with 400 mats each.
Yep.
So not really a lot.
Yeah.
400 mats. They're gonna phase, grapple straight up, full confidence, and go.
I mean, that's the play.
And most of the time they're not even looking up. They're just like,
we're just gonna.
It's a good time. Zone just formed. It's a max pull. They're not paying attention. We're going straight up. And they're conning teams like Cooper and Miro. Game 1, they took it from them. They're so good at finding the right time, and I think it's just based off of audio cues because they're constantly looking for these mid-ground frags, and they'll get them, but then it's just like height's not spraying,
and that's just from like experience, just from playing for so long. Also,
exactly.
So. And there's 21 grand finals from Kanata, so
and they're so quick with it too. They'll like hit the audio cue of like, okay, height's not spraying, so they're tarping.
Yeah,
we're gonna go back tarp and just grapple on this one.
It's so good.
And it's just repeat, it's rinse and repeat for them. Yep. So. I'm excited. I want to see some height takes from Kanata and Agers and Grounds.
I'm down. I'm little down for the little height takes, you know?
Well, dude, like,
fire.
My whole thing is like a lot of people will view like using grapple fizz to go up for high ground. It's like dangerous because it's like you're moving kind of slow as you go up and people can get a crazy beam. But like in these laggy lobbies, like these guys are teleporting. Like you're not really going to see them.
Like they're just going to be above you. They're in your box. Yeah. I'm dead. What just happened?
And I think they're just so confident in their fighting ability and the fact that that's going out. They're just like, yeah, forget it. Like we're going to fight you for this, like no matter what. I'd love to see it come through. in the actual finals itself. The other thing that I actually noticed, and I think the only player I saw run it, and it's so funny because after I saw it, I like checked in with other streamers' streams, and they watched Booga do this, and they were like, all of them were talking about it, what they're doing. Like, should we be doing this? Should we be doing this? Should we do this? Clicks was talking about it. Kanata was talking about it. Everyone's just like, it's like a ripple effect. Like, why is Booga doing this? And it's working. What's going on? The tracker pistol.
The lock-on pistol?
The lock-on pistol, dude. Nobody's been using it. And then like all of a sudden he's hip firing it in the air. And it's like, ding, 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 ding. It's like on gliding players. And it's like, what's going on?
Now with the lock-on pistol, that's been the meta for the past week or so for zero builds.
Yeah.
So there's been some strats going around with the lock-on pistol. I don't want to give away too many, but
he's got a tournament today.
I got a tournament. I got lock in.
This will come out tomorrow at 10. All right. I gotta. So you're fine. You got time. I
gotta lock in. Sign. Go. I gotta go. You know, I'll get up. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, you gotta go. Get off the plot.
Sigh.
But dude, like it's so funny because he used it in the cash cup, and then everyone starts talking about it. They're like, "Wait, should we use this? Should we use this?" Because he's farming it for Surge, and it's so funny because
so good.
I watched Clicks hop in a call with Blood X when he saw this happen, and he's like, "Should we be using this?" He's like, "Yeah, if you find it, go for it." Like he knew. Like you didn't know. Like come on now. Like Booger just pulls this out. And he's like using it during the cash.
If
cup.
you want to, you can. Yeah.
Well, dude, because I don't know how the mechanic actually works, but he's just like full radical, just left clicking, and it's just ding, 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 threw out of the air. Like,
don't want to say any shots, but it's really good.
It's crazy.
It's really good.
So yeah, maybe we'll see some lock-on pistol gameplay in Grands. Would be pretty crazy, especially where like the lobbies are so laggy. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work in laggy lobbies. Yeah. I don't know, but it could be a very useful utility to some of these players.
Very interesting weapon in the game where you could just lock onto
where
any
you
player.
Just fully aimbots everyone. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Oh man, but dude, that's gonna wrap up NA for us, I guess. We'll move on to EU. I feel like we've been taking a while.
We've been
talking a lot. So we'll try and speed this up. And you did the write up on EU, so if you want to kind of guide us through.
Yeah, for sure. So we got game 1 from EU uppers. First game, first day. We got Sinet and Vaniac winning game 1. Yeah. Very, very interesting duo. I mean, I haven't really seen them perform like crazy amounts, like kind of underrated, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, winning game 1, that's pretty impressive. We'll take that. Then this is the main duo I want to talk about. We have, what is his name? I think it's Perchawa
and Vexy.
Yeah, Perchawa and Vexy taking home 2 second places in day 1 of uppers, right? Mm-hmm. And then the second day, right? They didn't qualify game 1 or day 1. 5 games, they got 2 second places, which is really good. Like that hurts. Close. Yeah. So they're going into day 2, thinking about like what they can improve. They get a 3rd place game 1. And it's just like, wow. So out of 6 games, they get 3 of them out of 6 games were top 3s.
Crazy. Or top 3s.
Yeah, top 3s out of 3 games. Next game, they win. So I'm like, that's
some consistent plays.
That might be an underrated duo. So I mean, like, hey, little top 5 prediction for me. I mean, it might be happening.
These lobbies are pretty laggy and pretty similar to Grands.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, everything will be to another level, but
right.
I mean, that's still pretty close. But that is really
that's
consistent.
What I'm saying. They look good going into it, and they have an interesting drop spot. It's above classy. Like it's like half classy and then half like a little dog or something. So I don't know how they're gonna perform.
It's obviously getting them enough loot to play out.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, hey, we'll take it, And then this next one is really good. Yeah. Pink solo clutch, like he's solo first moving going into in game upper bracket qualifies to Grands as a solo clutch. Like, oh my, did you watch that?
With the win? No.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I was working during this. I couldn't.
I need to show you after.
Oh
but
my gosh.
He fully solo clutched from first moving all the way to final move, like finals, like is 1v1.
Pink's him, man.
Dude, it was crazy.
Pink and Biko are an awesome duo.
I think they could pull up an upset.
So, I think so as well. I think a lot of people are underrating them. EU is so weird this season though. Because
so with that duo though, really fast, they're fully fighting for this tower down here. Yeah, they're fighting who is this? Who is it? All right, yes, Kiddo on them. They're fully fighting for that tower over to the left side for the Fortcast tower. It's 100% spawn rate. Yeah. So they're fully fighting for it every single time. And they've been losing it for a little bit. So it's interesting. So I don't know what their game plan is going into Grands, but I mean, hey, I hope they take it home, So
the EU is so weird because like Granted, I'm not as much of an EU stan as some people. And EU is so much harder to follow because there's just so many players, and a lot of them have really weird names too. So I just can't. But like, so many duos have been formed just off the basis of like statistics, right? Like statistically, you have the greatest duo of all time in FNCS this season.
Oh yeah,
in Vino and Tayson, right? Statistically, they should be the greatest duo to ever touch the game.
First place. Second place in a solo all-stars.
Yeah, statistically, they should be the greatest team ever.
Yeah. But they haven't really been performing that well.
But still, though, like you have other teams, you have like Queasy and Tayson. Queasy and Thomas. And it's like these teams should be dominating everything.
I do want to mention another team really fast. Aqua Nola Riley.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that team?
I mean, it's cool to see Aqua back in the mix like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's interesting to see because they are mainly height players. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take home height most games. So.
Oh, yeah. Fighting the height for EU, I think, is going to be nuts.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be
100%.
a crazy fight. Especially how easy it is to go up for height because everyone's carrying grappler. Like, any team who wants to look up and go for it can go. So
I feel like it might be like every single game, it's going to be like a 3-4-way fight. It's going to be crazy, man. I'm excited to watch EU. I feel like EU is going to be like hell. Like,
starts
really fun.
12 o'clock sharp, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So it's gonna be early, but hey, it's gonna be fun to watch, you know.
Oh no, yeah, it's gonna be good.
Oh,
so much FNCS starting tomorrow, man.
I'm really excited.
And of course, the time this video will go live at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
So 2 hours in the time you guys are watching this, EU will be running. What else do we have through here, man?
Phaser and King.
You got some good stuff. Oh my gosh, Phaser and King.
Oh yeah,
dude.
coming from Brazil.
They made it.
Oh yeah, coming from Brazil. Took them a little bit to qualify, but they made it through. Like they qualified for uppers, right?
Yeah.
Didn't make it for the top 25, but hey, they qualified for lowers. Got top. I think they got like 7th in lowers. Qualified for grands. Hey, we got to see how they perform in finals. You know,
I saw so many people like, because the thing is, right, as soon as they came over, you have like two sides of the coin when it comes to King and Phaser. You have the people that are like, King is still him, man. He's still
like
one of the
Brazil,
greatest in the world.
One,
and it's like, don't doubt the underrepresented regions. Like the players are still just as good. And then you have the people that are like, this is EU, get a grip.
Yeah, I feel like that's how most people are now, just after seeing how they performed in like semis and stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, I think it really comes down to how they performed in grand. So
100%. But it was so funny to watch like those people go back and forth. I think I kind of lean on the side of like, come on, this is EU.
Yeah, same.
But like everyone was there like, King and Phaser made it. Everyone who doubted them, they're back at grands now. What do you have to say now? And it's like they made it through in lower bracket in the least stacked lobby. They couldn't get a win, and they couldn't get top 25 in the stacked lobbies. Right. So you have to think there are 25 plus 10. So there are 35 duos that they are playing against in grands that they could not qualify with when they're in the lobby.
Yeah.
So it's like, and what
I mean, that's the same way that is with. I don't want to bring them up yet, but just real fast, Mongrel and Savage.
Yeah,
it's the same way.
And I don't. Here's my thing. I think I'm super critical of Phaser and King because they are primarily comp players through and through. Right. That's why they came to the region to make more money. Savage and Mongrel, on the other hand, ultimate content creators, and they probably made a bag off of the viewership as is.
This whole grands for Savage and Mongrel the whole semis have been crazy.
It's a movie,
for them.
dude.
It is a movie. It is a movie. I want to hop into it for a little bit, but I want to really quick mention some names that did not qualify for grands. Truelex and Chico, one of the FNCS winners, right? They won FNCS before, didn't qualify. Fastaroki Haijo, they're really underrated people. Qualified for most grands, unfortunately did not make it. Yeah. And then Moneymaker and Fanahin? I think that's how you say it. But yeah, Moneymaker being Mr. Popular. Sorry.
It's so crazy to see Moneymakers rise to fame, man. I played with Moneymaker when I did Dallas with Reddish. I was running builds of Moneymaker just for fun. Because we were she would be warming up playing builds with Moneymaker and all that. Yeah, hey, hop in. We're going to play some scrims after or whatever. I'd play builds, and this kid is just crazy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then now to see him doing so well, dude.
Dude, I mean, hey, congrats to him, fully popping off in the scene. You love to see it.
Bummer not to see him in Grands, though.
I know.
But it's a rough season.
It is a rough season. I mean, this Grands is stacked, though. With so many players.
This chapter is very unforgiving.
I think this might be one a Grands to go down in history. So
it's been a really hard Grands, and I think it's pretty competitive.
I agree.
All things considered, it's rough. You could say Mickey Mouse, for the format, or headshot snipers, whatever, medallions, mythics. Like, but my thing is like, it's just more challenge to the players. And if you look at the player list, the people who are there should be there.
Yeah, 100%.
There really isn't that many teams that don't deserve to be there.
There are a few teams that are like I'm a little surprised about, but like, if anything, it's legit like 3-5 teams. That's it. It's most teams are like, oh my gosh, they're there. In no surprises, like they just need to be there, you know.
Yep.
So
and of course, I mean, Savage and Mongrel was I don't want to say upset, but it was like
this was
the story.
Yeah, this is the storyline. The script, as you could say, Savage and Mongrel Savage solo clutching last game of lowers, the last like second round of lowers, which is like you need top 30 or you're out of FNCS.
This is game 3.
This is the no. This is
But it's just the 3 games.
No. This is round 2 of lowers, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You need top 30 to move on, or you're fully out of FNCS.
Oh,
like
yeah, because the rest go up.
Yeah, what happened with Buck and them. Savage solo clutches last game, gets like I think a top 4 or something like that, and gets them like 12th place, which qualifies them for the upper bracket, right? So they need to get top 25 in the upper bracket to qualify now. They get 26th place in the upper bracket, day 3, losing out on a tiebreaker. They get 6. They lost a tiebreaker, right? So they're back down in the lower bracket. In the lower bracket, game 1, Savage solo clutches, goes up to high ground, solo clutches, and wins the game, qualifying them for FNCS Grand Finals.
And this is lower finals where it is 3 games.
Yeah.
You need top 25. And just like World Cup quals back in Chapter 1, the famous clips, Savage shadow bombing up the mountain.
Yep.
We see Savage and Mongrel come back together. And
Savage doing the same thing.
Going up to high ground, burying the players below to win the game. Homie broke his headset.
Oh, yeah.
It was game 1, wasn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, the next 2 games, they pretty much died off spawn.
But the win's enough. The win's enough.
If they didn't win that game, did not qualify.
Oh, yeah.
They got like 12th place. Needed top 15.
I was so confused because I saw the win. I was like, wait, why are they celebrating? But it's like, that's enough points.
That was.
Because in 3 games, there really isn't a chance for people to come back.
Right, exactly. I mean, hey, it was close, though. It was close.
Dude, but still, though, Savage and Mongrel making it through, they had well over 150,000 viewers, I think.
Dude, I think it was 170 at one point.
It was ridiculous.
It was crazy.
So Savage and Mongrel, back into the grand finals, man, their viewership numbers are going to be astronomical.
I don't even know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be. I feel like.
I mean, I'm watching EU just to watch them. I'll be so for
real. Crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh, dude! But to see them back in it, the first season Mongrel comes back after how many years?
2 years, I think.
Crazy.
2 3 years.
It hasn't played a single tournament.
Nothing.
1 season back, straight to grands.
I mean, hey, Mongrel might be that guy, you know.
He
just has those genetics, you know. It's no skill, just genetics. come on now.
In his blood.
Oh
man.
yeah, but hey, do you want to talk about the drop map?
Yeah, let's go talk about drop map just a little bit. We've got some interesting contestations. I think the first one I want to talk about, we mentioned fencing and how that fight goes down, and on NA, it's only double contested, right? We have Acorn Cold, Muzz, and Paper getting contested there. And they've been splitting that for a lot of events. But on EU, flip side of things, triple contested POI against a team that I wanted to put into my top 5 so bad.
I did also, yeah.
So bad. In my mind, they were the shoo-ins to win the whole thing.
Oh, 100%.
For the whole season. But just because of this, I just don't think I can.
Can't. That's the same reason why I'm doing it for Cooper and Mira.
I mean, it's totally fair.
Same way, yeah.
It's Malibuca Mustache, man, the OG duo returning. One of the only OG duos that are in this FNCS, right? Because we saw so many splits after Globals on the region of EU. But Mustache and Malibuca getting contested by what? Diox and Cade.
Yep.
Lazen and Locks.
I know who
That
Diox
sounds
and
like
Cade
a
is.
nursery rhyme. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know.
I know who Diox and Cade are.
I know them.
They're decent though. I don't know who the other team is, so it's kind of interesting why they're conning. But hey,
it's rough.
It is what it is.
It's
yeah.
so rough for them, man, because I wanted to see them do well so bad. And I think legitimately, if they were uncontested or even just to another team there, I think they would be in my list to win the whole thing. They'd probably be first place.
I agree.
Because they just look so good, and that's the team for me. If you're going to bet on a team, they were the ones to bet on the season.
I think there's one other team that I really want to talk about that is contested.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Queasy Thomas HD, and then who is it? I can't really read that.
Noms and Cringe.
Noms and Cringe, yeah. So Queasy Thomas HD qualifying game 2 of uppers, right?
Yeah.
Game 2 of uppers, day 1. So they qualified early.
Yeah.
And then this other team has it uncontested. So they qualify like, I think, next game for uppers. Like it was within 3 games. 2 teams from Lavish qualified for uppers, like qualified for grands from uppers. So I feel like that off spawn is going to be interesting since they both already qualified. But hey, I want Queez and Thomas H to take it out, man. I really do.
I got them in my top 5.
Yeah, I do also. So, hey, it's going to be interesting.
Thomas being the most deserving player of an FNCS championship that doesn't have an FNCS championship. Ibn Queasy, awesome deal on paper. They've been doing pretty well all season. Thomas seems to be on a different level.
He's looking real good this season.
He's looking swifty. He's looking real young.
He's looking young. You'd love to see it.
But dude, if this is the season for them, I'd love to see. I'd love to see.
My thing of them, if they're being contested on spawn by a team like that, I don't really know too much about them. I feel like if they just win off spawn, they'll have their search for the whole game, and they could just pop off.
Yeah.
So it'll be really nice for Queez and Thomas HC. So
yeah, I guess the other 2 teams that we have to talk about being conned off spawn, right? Probably the 2 teams that have the most, they're gonna have the most eyes on them the entire event.
Yep.
First and foremost, we just talked about the Mongrel, Mr. Savage. We're uncontested for a little while.
Yep.
And then some switch ups in the drop map now being contested off spawn once again.
Man.
And this duo does not do well when contested at the spot. It is not a splittable POI. They landed the drone factory just to the left of fencing fields.
Yep.
And it is not a splittable spot. Of course, there's the underground, but you have whole teams landing on that that are going to be there long before they get the chance to go loot anything. It's not going to be pretty. Not going to be fun to watch.
I do think the spot might be kind of splittable. It depends on how they do first game. I want to see what happens first game because I've seen Mongrel and Savage land up at the drone factory and just fully disengage, like not even trying to.
That's what they were. That's what they had to do during the last set of qualifiers for upper and lower bracket. Is they were looking like they weren't going to qualify, and they just started swerving off spawn. If they were contested, they would go down to the water.
Right.
They would go just north down to the lake, but there's a whole team landing there. In Chari and I can't even say his name. Giras or whatever. But they're going to be landing at the train station just north. Probably off spawn to start. So maybe if they swerve early, they should have a chance. There's a launch pad there to rotate away. But my problem is that area of the map is just so contested. There's really no loot that's going to be left for them.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for them, I feel like. I don't want to say anything. Let's see how they do, Let's see how they do.
I just worry for Lane and Nate if they do contest them and they take them out a couple of times.
Yeah.
If they're streaming or their socials, they're going to get so much hate. It's going to be really bad.
Yeah.
Because Mongrel Mr. Savage fans do not mess around.
No. And I would not. Hey, you thought Bucky's fans were bad? Ooh, don't even get me started on Mr. Mongrel or Mongrel Savage.
I can only imagine they're going to be close to 250,000 live viewers.
At least.
It's going to be
at least
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. I'm actually excited for it. So
yeah, but I guess the other team as well. Not a lot to talk about on their behalf, but King and Phaser. They already have a split drop they're landing at, but being contested. That was the main thing. And so many people's predictions for them coming over to this region was that I think they'll make grands, but there is 0 chance they're going to be uncon.
Yeah, that's how I am also. I just don't know how they're going to perform just because of they won game 2 of lowers, top 15 that they needed, but it's looking rough for them, honestly.
It's not going to be great. But yeah, I guess that's going to kind of wrap up our little thing here. We kind of already talked about the format for grand finals. We'll touch it again, of course. Top 2 teams from EU are going to qualify to global championships, while all of the other regions are only going to be sending their first place FNCS champions for this season. It's going to be 12 games, 2 days, 6 games each day. And then, of course, day 2 is going to have that 1.5x multiplier.
Oh, yeah.
But, dude, I guess
predictions?
Lead us to the top 5s, man. You go ahead and do it. We'll start with EU, then we'll go to NA. Of course, NA on top. EU's a test region.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I didn't say that. Oh, my God. I didn't say that.
But Pfluger, your EU top 5.
Okay, so this is in no order, okay?
Yeah, mine
no
order. No particular order.
Queasy Thomas, obviously. You gotta have them in there. Cammy Seti, you cannot count them out. You cannot count them out. Now, this is the duo I really want to pop off. This is my underrated duo. Wait, I don't know how to say it.
Perchawa.
Yeah, Petrawa and Vexy. I want them to pop off just because, they popped off in the semis. I want to see them pop off in finals, I want to see them pull off a little top 5. And then I got Taste and Vino. Could be taking them the whole thing, but hey, Uncon Glacier, man. That could be impressive. But
last but not least,
we got Aqua and Nola Riley.
I think it's fair to put them on the list.
Oh yeah,
100%.
High ground kings. I want to see them pop off.
EU's looking spicy, man. Our lists are very similar, but a little bit different.
Yeah.
Of course, Cammy and Seti on my part, Tayson and Vino, Thomas HD and Queasy, Misha and Teeny on my list, and then Pink and Vico.
Those are interesting, I mean, hey, 3 out of 5 are the same, We expect them to be top 3 at least, so we'll have to see what happens, man.
I'm hoping, man. I see a lot of people not putting Tayson and Vino in their top 5.
Really?
And it's like, statistically, how can you do that with with any sort of confidence?
My only way I could see them not putting them or being them in the top 5 is because they have had Glacier on con in semis and stuff and just did not perform well at all. They just could not get surge or anything like that. So it was interesting.
So it's going to be a good watch. And of course, so EU starting at 12 o'clock.
Yep.
CST for everyone at home. Those will be our top 5 picks for the EU Grand Finals for the first Major 1 FNCS Finals. Let's talk about NA, man. Go ahead and throw your top 5 out there for NA.
So in A, we got Iamzo and Rise pulling off personally where I'm landing for today in the what is it? The Swearin 10K Zero Build Cup.
Yeah.
They got it fully on con, so it's a good spot, man. I could see them pulling off a little top 5. Reet and Ritual, obviously, hey, you cannot go wrong with them. Kanata Agers being on con. Buga, Vive, and Sphinx and Pump. So that's my top 5.
I like Sphinx and Pump in there.
Yep.
Sphinx and Pump are a good one. I have top 5, but I have an honorable mention in there that NA is so hard. I feel like I know too much about it this season. Where I just feel like so many people are up in the mix for it. But I guess BenK's top 5 for Major 1 FNCS Grand Finals. I stuck with them since the very beginning before FNCS Qualifier 1 even started. I think Reet and Ritual are going to take home the FNCS championship this season. All my other predictions have not had a specific order, but that I'm going to declare Reet and Ritual will be your FNCS Major 1 champions.
Interesting.
Cooper and Miro will be there in the top 5. Dukes and Threats, Buga and Aviv, and then Kanata and Agers with honorable mentions of Peterbot and Poyo. I think I could get it done, man.
I can see that. I didn't even think about Peterbot Poyo. Are they uncon? We know they're con, right?
I'm not even sure, man.
I think they're con.
I just know how good they've been looking this season,
Yeah.
and I don't want to bet against them. They're conned by Raise and higher.
Okay.
But I still think
they win that. I'm not gonna lie. They win that spot.
Yeah.
they win that off spot. I'm sorry, but yeah, they just won that.
You're conning Peterbot off spawn. You're getting slammed.
Yeah,
Let's be for real right now. But no, that's gonna wrap it up for us, man. The culminating episode of the season. Yeah. Major 1 is about to begin this weekend in 2 hours from the release of this video.
Oh, yeah.
But that's going to wrap it up, man. I hope you guys all enjoyed at home. Enjoy your weekend. Watch some FNCS, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.